Congratulations, Trevor. What's the feeling like after advancing to yet another grand final?
I'm just so proud of the guys. Just just the effort, how they played, how they carry themselves. This guy behind me, just tough as nails. To get in the grand final without your best player, it speaks volumes of the character of the team. We withheld a pretty big storm there in the second half, so just really proud.
Can you talk specifically about Mitch and that diving on the loose balls and ability to score that in that last quarter just to inspire the team?
Yeah, and it was, we've talked the last couple of years about his leadership role, and probably the last 2 years just learning of what's in front with some vets out there, and now it's his turn. That we always had this envision when we first signed him for 3 years. So to come at when the pressure is on, he took the responsibility himself. He made a great N1 down there when we were struggling to score, and that dive, he was, he just puts his body on the line and comes up the loose ball. It's just momentum. That's what leadership is all about, putting when the game's on the line, taking a step forward, and Mitch's done that on a number of occasions.
Players sort of increase their accolades and how they're seen throughout society when they play injured. Are you prepared at the moment to tell us how injured he was and what he put his body through tonight?
I'll just say he's playing with a lot of discomfort, and a lot of players wouldn't be able to play, wouldn't be able to suit up. So, he's a tough little character, I tell you. Well, he's not little, he's strong, but they built him strong up North Queensland.
You laughed then, Mitch. How sore are you right now? How sore do you reckon you'll be in the morning?
Yeah, I don't feel too much right now. Knowing that you're heading to a grand final, all that pain and everything just goes away. So, we've got a fantastic medical staff. The physios and the strength and conditioning guys were fantastic, kind of working with me all around the clock. I'm thankful that it responded to all that treatment.
It looked like it didn't even go through your mind. It was just, I'm going to play. From the outset, I have to dive, have to fall, no matter what, I'll play my normal way. Was that your attitude once you were asked to play?
Yeah, I didn't want to think about it too much. I kind of told the medical staff, don't come and ask me how it's going. If it's getting worse, I'll let you know. And I just wanted to go out and play my role. And if diving for a loose ball, made it sore or something like that, that's what you got to do. It's a price you got to pay to book a ticket to the grand final.
Who's next? Anyone else?
Trev, Brad Elber from AAP. Just a bit on Blanchfield's, particularly in the first half today. A bit quiet in game 2, but stepped up. I think he had 21 at half time.
Yeah, he's been our real stepped up when Bryce has been out. So when he gets going, he's confident. The shot looks, as soon as the ball leaves his hands, it looks like it's going in. So, yeah, he was really, really good for us. He's been good for us for the last month when Bryce has been out. Oh, he's been great all year. So, yeah, it's added responsibility, and to be a focal point offensively and deliver under pressure is, I'm proud of Toddy too.
What about the third term when the Hawks got on a bit of a run? I think in the timeout we heard you say your boys were watching the scoreboard and thought the game was done and dusted. Is that all you thought it was, or they had a real hard crack at you, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought we came out pretty placid in the third. I think they went on a 14-zip run. Well, we were 16 up at the half, 14 up at the half. And they got it back to 2 points. I don't know if they got in front, did they? Maybe they did. But, I thought we were timid, just cruising. We weren't the hard cuts. We weren't screening. We weren't moving the ball. And our defence is pretty brittle. So, that's a recipe for disaster.
Mitch from the Mercury, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, Trevor, you just pointed out that the scores being the same in that game. That game was almost a carbon copy of the first game in Perth. Toddy getting hot early on, them coming back, and obviously that they got it done that time. Were you attuned to the similarities and fearing it was going to go the same way? Were you attuned to it in the moment that it was playing out?
Yeah.
Since it does not move?
Yeah, well, look, I thought game one we left the opportunity to go. We were 6 up, 3 minutes to go. We should have put it away. And then I think we were 10 up at 3 minutes to go. And then all of a sudden we turned the ball over twice. It's back to 6 points. So, you know, when you got a team that Harvey can drop it in from, you know, a dribble over half court, and obviously Jessup, you know, they're two pretty lethal 3-point shooters. You never feel safe out there at all with those guys on the floor. And you know, what we're able to do is just contain Harvey to 11 shots. That's unbelievable. You know, Mitch has done a great job, and our defense did a really good job, and Jessup went 2 of 10. So, yeah, it's a long way to win the game.
They were low-scoring games, and it was a real grind in all three. It's probably a bit different to what we're seeing in the other series, but as far as you're concerned, is that real playoff basketball we've seen in these last 3 games? Just tough and just a grind?
Yeah, it really was. It's hats off to Brian and the Hawks. They were, you know, unbelievable how they've done this year. And nothing was easy, even that you thought the game we could get away and maybe push it out to 16, 18, 20. You know, they were fought back big time to make that a ball game. So that's what you're going to get this time of the year. I haven't watched any of the other game, to be truthful with you. I've just been locked onto what we're doing.
Just last one from me, Trevor. So I know you've got more to do and a championship to try to win and all that, but is this already, given the circumstances, and I know you spoke about the game, the previous game being one of the gutsiest you've been a part of, is this already a pretty special thing in your coaching career, in your stretch with this club, to be where you are in these circumstances?
Oh, without a question. It's just the character of the team that we got, you know, from most punters out there said we weren't going to make the finals. You know, we had a changeover with Damo, Nick Kay, Miles Plumley, Tariko White. There was a lot of change in the team. We had a couple of guys that have been journeymen, you know, in Kevy and Blanchfield, and we picked up Bairstow that hadn't played NBL before. And these guys have really bonded together, and the Melbourne time with the Melbourne Cup, the team, the chemistry was great, and they're playing for each other. And you know, to get these rewards to get in the grand final is a just reward for what they've done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Cheers.
Trev, on to the grand final game, what does playing the first 2 games at home do for your chances? Do you like it?
Yeah, look, I haven't really had much time to. I just been locked onto this series and not get too far ahead of yourself. So obviously it's a great thing that we don't have to travel. That to play 3 games in 5 days with travel is always an issue, and to get the first 2 at home is, you know, we can rest our bodies up, give Mitch some rest, and lock into it later in the week, and hopefully we get this place rocking on the weekend, and we can get a couple of wins.
Bryce responded to a couple of points today with the TV showed him jump up a few times. You're not pulling a rabbit out at any stage. Can you categorically tell us he's not playing?
I'm going to drop $50 on the ground and see if he runs and picks it up. If he does that, we might suit him up. So, like, who knows? No, look, he's pretty. He hasn't touched the basketball since he went out. So, but I'm a coach. I'm always looking for ways to improve, and that's a chance. I'll go down that path.
There's my lead. Thank you.
Yeah, so Mitch, just a couple quickly. Tyler Harvey was a potential match winner for them coming into this series. Then when you hurt your hip, it was going to be a tough job, but how proud are you that you helped to at least stop him winning the series for the Hawks?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's been a tough cover all year. You know, lots of teams have thrown different coverages at him. He's a fantastic scorer of the ball, and you know, does a good job of getting off it pretty quick as well. So I think you know, our defensive schemes had to be on point, and we had to follow them through. And I think, you know, we really improved that in game 2 and 3. And yeah, I'm glad I was out there to help.
And just finally, what would it mean if you can get the Damien Martin award on Wednesday night? You already know that he ranks your defence highly, and he's already voted you as a winner in another award that he did. But he put Justin Simon right up there. So do you see Justin as your biggest rival for that as well? And what did you make of his defence in this series?
I mean, yeah, he's a hell of a defender as well. His arm span or his wingspan is something pretty amazing. I haven't really faced that before as a point guard, but I mean all that stuff's out of my control. I'm just focused on one thing right now, and that's the game on Friday. So if it does happen to be, that's fantastic, and I'm sure I'll share a moment with him later on.
Thanks, guys.
Last questions, guys.
Just one more for me, if I can jump in. Mitch, from a travelling perspective with the grand final schedule, not having to do the over and back sort of scenario potentially, and losing those hours in the air at the airports and things like that, what does that do for players with recovery? How much pressure do you reckon you'll all be for not having to endure that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're not sitting on a plane for 4 or 5 hours is going to be good. I mean, the airport isn't too bad. We're all with each other, and it's quite a fun time to be around each other. So, I mean, other than sitting on a plane, I mean, it's going to be good for us.